Andrew Robinson had a wank 300 metres underwater. Why, hello there. Welcome to the Not For Radio podcast. We are your hosts, Duncan High, Jay Reeve. It's good to have another sniper tuning into this. There's plenty. I think we've just ticked over 5 million downloads. Since we broke out, because we were on the Rock Drive feed as well, but that's 5 million since we broke out, whenever it was.
Huzzah to that. This, if you're just new to the podcast, contains some swearsies from time to time.
Yeah, there is a little bit of that. Some pretty questionable behaviour from Jay in this one, just a heads up. Definitely all Jay. Don't.
This could be the one that unravels us. Quite a few names are used in this, so this could be class action. Fucking buckle in.
And if you want us to support us to continue to make this bloody great crook content, you can become Sniper Elite, 3 extra episodes a week. You can do that by clicking the show notes. Everything's under the link tree. Place for you to send voice memos. You can find a link to our sunglasses, our first collab with Newfound Sunglasses, which is sick as well. And you may already be doing this, but we're now on YouTube too.
Yeah. So on the pod today, bit of speed cooking with one of New Zealand's favourite celebrity chefs.
We've also got the Robin Hood of free piss or alcohol, just in case you're thinking about that. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere and you're like, we're talking about urine.
Recapping the famous NZ bugger ad.
Jay does a deep dive on Russel Brand.
Once again, like I said, this could be the big unraveling of us.
Oh, yeah.
And to start things off, a little war story from our buddy Frenchie called Divine Intervention on a Crutch Rocket.
Enjoy the podcast.
You're listening to Jay and Dunc on Not For Radio. You beauty.
War story. Starting the podcast with a war story. Fuck yeah.
Do you want me? Can I go first with Frenchie? Frenchie's a fucking belter.
You've been excited about this. Okay.
Radio.
I'm going to go straight after you. Double down.
Yeah.
Pow, pow.
Pow. So, this is from Frenchie in Essex, because the only way is Essex, in the UK, under the category of illegal. Just fucking drop into this one. Good morning, you fucking beauties. This story happened a few moons ago in a previous life. I'm sure you can relate. I lived most people's 20s in my teen years, sneaking into nightclubs, racing motorcycles down the back lanes, being a general delinquent and a menace to society. Firstly, I'll start by saying the motorcycle laws here in the UK are a little bit tricky. When you're 17, you can ride a 125 with 1 day's training, but you can't get a full licence until you're 24. When you're 19, you can do a restricted licence, which means you can get a bike with no more than 47 brake horsepower. Well, back in the day, me and my best friend Cam, we'll call him that because that's his
fucking name.
Well, me and Cam had different opinions on the best route. He stuck with his 125cc Yamaha, whereas I went out, did my licence, and bought myself a Ducati Monster 696. Are fucking great bikes too, by the way. Now, there is a grey area in the laws where you can have a bike restricted down to 47 horsepower limit. If you're handy with tools, it takes 0.2 seconds to fuck off that restrictor plate and boom, back up to the full 95 fucking horses. Giddy up. So one warm, sunny Friday evening, we're out cruising down the road when I decide to show him just how much fun a big bike can be. He's about 200 metres ahead of me at full throttle, tucked in like it's a MotoGP. Now, his little 125 topped out about 75, 80 miles per hour. But my Italian fucking thoroughbred really wanted to stretch his legs.
Here we go.
One last check in the mirrors for good luck. I dropped a couple of cogs and fucking opened her up. I flew past him at Mach fucking Jesus. And when I looked behind me to see his reaction, you guessed it, blue flashing lights. I looked down to check my speed. Holy fuck. I was doing 150 miles an hour in a 70k zone. I slowed down to let Cam catch up when he shouted to me, "Are we going to run?" On that fucking lawnmower, I said, "No, we're fucked, mate. Let's pull in." Safe to say, Mr. Police Officer was less than impressed at my land speed record attempt and even less pleased at my attempt to crack a few nervous jokes. Now, I'm not a religious man, but Lord Baby Jesus was watching out for us that day. The officer was an undercover drugs unit, and his car didn't have any of the traffic cop tech to actually charge us with anything. He gave us an almighty bollocking and said, "If I'm late home, my missus is gonna fucking kill me, so don't do it again." He got back in his car and left us alone with our thoughts. Remember when I said baby Jesus was watching out for us? Well, because my bike had the restrictor taken it out, I was technically riding without a license and uninsured. Need more divine intervention, I hear you say? Well, thank fuck for that, Cam said. I've got a 1/4 ounce of weed under my seat. You think you're lucky, I replied. I've got a fucking bag of pingers under mine. The drug officer was clearly in such a rush to get home for a quickie that he missed the opportunity to throw us both in the nick. We rode home at under 5 under the limit and still laugh about it to this day. Huzzah! Up the fucking pod and up the mother heckin' wires.
I can already tell I'd love to have a beer with him.
Mate, Frenchie, you fucking handful. I love it.
How's
That's so good.
How fucking hectic is it? You can take the restrictor plate off and double the horsepower.
Yeah.
That's frightening.
That's I saw a guy in the UK recently. He grabbed his mate's GTI Golf or something and fucking chipped it out or something. Like, this thing turned into a race car.
He would have been free boosting.
Yeah, so he chipped his mate's car without telling him and then gave it to him. Was like, oh, we'll take it for a bit of a test ride. And he goes, give it a bit of wally. And he fucking just about squeezed himself through the stitches in the seat. He goes, holy fuck, what the fuck? And he goes, this is not normally that fast. He goes, no fucking way. It's like fucking 10 times quicker. He's like, you sure? You just haven't been driving it for a while. Give it another bit. And he goes fucking laughing at the side of his face. He goes,
That's so sick.
mates that are clever at doing shit like that, awesome to have around.
I've told that yarn before on the podcast. One of our mates, Ox, had a Celica GT4. Which I
Great,
think,
the original rally car for Juha Kankinen.
yeah, it was actually, and so I think they came like factory boosters about £6, and if you could probably get away with running 12 the whole time, and he decided to fucking undo the screw on the wastegate or whatever you do, and that was free boosted about £40, and he was like, I'll do some doughies in the fucking car park of the RSA or wherever we were, the country club.
Because it was a 4-wheel drive, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so they just fucking heli.
Yeah, so he was like, I'll get it going, and then he fucking free boosted, got into third gear, the thing is just fucking turning and lighting up on all fucking fours, and then it just pops. 25 grand down the drain.
There you go. Play silly games, win even sillier
Pretty
prizes.
sick. He went from a Ford Laser red, 5% tints on it, so just completely blacked out with cut springs, that he cruised around with all of his mates to that, and I think he had about 4 months before he blew it up. He was always a sucker under peer pressure. He'd be like, do it, Ox. He'd be like, I should, eh?
Yes.
And you're
Go and
like, fuck, I'm glad it's not mine. It's
No,
not going to last.
no one's passing the fucking hat round when he's fucking grenaded a 25k engine.
Legit think we just all jumped in our cars and fucked off.
Call a tow, you useless fuck. That'll learn you.
I'm gonna, like I said, 2 war stories straight off the bat. This from Big Kev, and this one's called On the Rark. Hello, my favourite bunch of Southern Hemisphere legends. My name's Kev, and I'm from Grimsby in England. I've got a war story for you that'll hopefully make Jay gag like the cat coughing up a hairball. Like a cat coughing up a hairball. 20 years ago, I was at university in the city of Derby. It's pronounced Derby.
Yeah.
Knew I'd fuck it up. My mate, who I'll call Dave because that's his fucking name, came into the student union and put a shoebox on the table. He told us it was full of free drinks. This confused the shit out of us as it was only a small shoebox and you struggled to fit a bottle in it. So he sat there with sort of blank expressions that would get your life, the sort of blank expressions that would get your life support machine turned off if you did it for too long in hospital. Inside the box was a load of cards that looked like Pokemon cards but with pictures of booze on them. The chain of pubs he worked in was having a promotion. For every drink you bought, you received a random card. When you collected 3 of a kind, you got that drink for free. A box of these cards was left unattended and he swooped in and stole it like a British seaside seagull stealing chippies. A group of about 20 took the train to Nottingham and descended on the chain pub like a swarm of thirsty locusts. We got stuck into the beers like it was our job, and soon the cards for beer, lager and other nice drinks ran out. This meant we had to drink cider, Alco Pops and other sorts of Lady Petrol.
Lady Petrol's a fucking great name, eh?
We enjoyed the night so much that we left it too late for the last train home and had to run to the station. We crashed through the streets like a herd of majestic, pissed-up wildebeest. Because we are a bunch of pricks. We hampered our own progress, tripping and tackling and pushing each other and things as we went along. Then it happened. Steve tripped at the front of a big arched glass shop doorway. At the end of the arch was a bloke stood with his back to us, pissing like a camel. Steve fell into the doorway shoulder first, and the shape of the arch turned... oh, fuck. Turned him around, so he hit the ground. When he hit the ground, he was flat on his back, staring upwards. Like an otter sliding off a riverbank, he smoothly slipped face up directly up to the camelman's stream of skinning. The steaming hot yellow piss was pouring out. It looked like a scene from Ghostbusters when the stream from the proton laser hits the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Camel Man freaked out and ran away into the night. We fell about laughing at our mate, who now looked like a drowned rat and smelt like a urinal cake.
Oh, fuck.
We missed the train home and we had to wait 5 hours for the next one. But we did have enough cards left over for another night out in Leicester the next day. Love the show. Keep up the great work. Up the wires, Kev.
That's great stuff. I wonder if he's talking about Weatherspoons. Obviously, they'll never name it. But Weatherspoons we've talked about on the podcast before. And it's one of those, like, I want to go to the UK for a large number of reasons, but fuck me, I really want to go for Weatherspoons.
What is Weatherspoons?
So Weatherspoons...
Is it the cheap pub with cheap piss?
Yes.
So there's the guy that like bought fuckloads of them and now can demand a cheaper price from all the liquor makers, like all the breweries and stuff, because he's buying on such bulk?
That would be part and parcel of it. So Tim Martin is the guy that founded the first Weatherspoons pub back in 1979. And so the chain has now over, I think it's like close to 1,000 pubs.
Yeah, I think it's the same one we're thinking about.
And so he was basically, as the story goes, he was told by his teacher that he would never amount to fucking anything, and that he was a piece of shit. And that teacher's name was Mr. Weatherspoon. And so that's why he named all these pubs after him, so that everyone that's related to that guy goes, Weatherspoon, that's a fucking random name. You must be related to the Weatherspoons pub chain. They're like, no. My granddad was a fuckwit to this guy who's made a shit ton of money. We don't get a fucking penny of it.
Oh, that's the ultimate play.
I love it. So the story goes. I may be completely wrong in that, and somebody that's listening to this, probably chances are there is a Weatherspoon listening to this.
Can we make a note to put a thread on the Sniper's Nightmare Facebook page for the, I guess, long-term fuck yous you concocted? Yeah. The ones that like were just a real slow burn, but then you managed to hit a massive home run in the end because you took your time.
Yeah, because that would be that's a fucking really long play, and I love it.
It wasn't guaranteed, but if it pulled off, it was one of the greatest fuck yous of all time.
Yeah, there was famously, sorry, I don't know why I'm laughing. There's this is like the New Zealand equivalent, but it didn't fucking work out. Okay. So there was a lady. I'm sorry, because someone's livelihood was fucked over this, but I still find it quite funny the link she went to. There's a lady who was importing cane baskets. And she had the market, and fuck me, the cane basket market is a market you want to keep hold of with two hands. Anyway, lo and behold, the big old red shed comes in, and they stock cane baskets, so she fucking quickly loses her competitive edge. So she legally changed her name to Stephen Tyndall.
That's the guy that owns the warehouse, which is one of the biggest out.
To try and fuck his credit rating, would write letters to editors and complain and sound like a fucking asshole and sign it by Steve Tyndall. What? And he changed her name by default. Oh my god, that was good.
What? That's I mean, that's a relatively short play. That'll be a 2-week turnaround, but a good fuck you.
Shit, it was good. Absolutely spectacular stuff. Fuck, I don't know why I find that so funny.
Just getting the rug ripped out of you when you think you've got the ownership over the cane basket market. You're like, fuck, I really had it there for a second. Super niche. Where was she selling her cane baskets?
Fuck knows. Cane baskets are us. I don't know. She wouldn't sell them somewhere, but she was fucking... And obviously, this is what happens with the globalisation of all these markets.
Oh, the small people get chewed up and spat out. Same thing's happening here with our...
Yeah.
all the
God.
pharmacies at the moment. She carved herself out such a nice little niche, only to be just fucking home run by a massive outlet store. Not
It's
an
just
outlet, what do you
like-
call it? Homeware store.
Yeah. Like, you just go, what the, like, in terms of things that are just,
That's someone that's fucking been bitten and is scorned and is
Exactly.
dirty and filthy.
instead of
I wonder
going,
if
instead of
when
going,
people came over to her house, she made them call her Steve.
yeah, totally. Totally. Fucking airports,
Derek,
everything.
Stephen.
Changed everything, like passport and everything. I can't remember who was telling me about it. Fuck, it sounded tragic, but also
Should we go in the company's office and see if there's more one Stephen Tyndall that has companies now?
I think it was
Let's not do that.
It was good on you, you know. It's literally like fucking throwing stones at a tank.
Someone has died while listening to this podcast. Continue listening with caution. He's fine now, though. Shout out to Richie Ward.
Now we did this segment on the radio show today, and there was one that stuck out, and you'll know when I get to it that I was like, can't fucking read that on the radio. If only we had a place to put it. And then I was like, hang on a minute, Jay, we do a podcast called Not for Radio.
Turns out we've got the fucking perfect spot for that.
So there's one that's not for radio. The other ones probably could have gone on the radio show, but we did it anyway and used other ones because there's fucking heaps of them. And this is originally a post that went up on the Sniper's Nightmare, and it was like, is there something that you think you've done or had happen to you in your life that makes you unique? Which is why we call There's No One Else Like Me! And so I got 10 here for you. This is from Maxine Bernski. I had 7 concussions, all from football or racing an F1 sidecar. What the fuck is an F1 sidecar? Just when you thought those things couldn't get any more dangerous.
You would assume that that's a motorcycle sidecar. Because you're not, I don't know. Clarification needed, please.
Could Google, but
I actually am enjoying not fact-checking stuff. Because I'm literally, my wife is fucking bionic and plugged into the internet. I'll ask any question, and she just goes straight to, like,
it cuts the jousting out.
Yeah, I love the meandering to get to I love the meandering and the back and forthing, the to and froing, the, coming up with some weird half-cocked example, an explanation of something, and seeing if it can actually get merit. I think there should be more credit given to fucking bullshit stories that actually sound legit as opposed to just fucking hammering the actual answer.
Oh, otherwise you just go question, and then you flip the card over and go answer.
Exactly.
Conversation over.
Exactly.
This is from Alan Cood. I was hit by a train when I was 17 in 1994. Not too many people that can say they've been mowed by a train.
Shit.
T Shack says, I just breathed in my whippet shit. Got too close to it.
Whippets shit.
One of the great snipers, David Beach, blocked a toilet with Rackhams in Birmingham in 1991 with a sizable shit. Rackhams must be a pub or something, yeah? How many times do you reckon a year you block the toilet to the point where the water rises up?
Me, personally, I've actually had a couple of good beaver dams as of late.
Have you?
And you sit there and you're like, oh, fuck, is this going to go? Is this going to go? And then it just goes...
More likely to happen with a never-ending story. Almost impossible to do with just a turd.
Yeah.
I like going... I had one earlier in the week, and I was like, that was a lot. And then it was a bit of a never-ending story. Lots of wipes. So then I... shut the lid when I flushed just to see if I could hear it, because you know how it goes flush, then nothing,
Yeah.
and then it goes
Like the greedy caterpillar.
and then it just sucks it all through the pipes,
Jesus Christ.
and then you look in and the tide's out real far from the
Yeah,
toilet.
it's fucking nothing.
And
Absolutely
it's normally skid central as well, so there's a little bit of
bone dry. Nothing to give it a scrub with.
well, there's not much you can achieve while taking a shit, but that's an achievement,
Yeah.
I reckon. That's you get a little shit badge for that. This week, bang.
The clogger.
This is out the gate. Phil Richardson rode a rhino. There's no one else like me.
How do you ride a fucking
Is
rhino?
there anything more badass on planet Earth to ride? I don't think there is. Maybe an orca, like a killer whale.
That'd be pretty fucking badass. I can't imagine that. Like orcas are really, really inquisitive. From what I have never had like a proper underwater encounter with one, but I've had them pop up close enough to me for me to fucking see their eyeballs and know that they're just running the meter over me. Is this thing worth fucking eating, or is it just a pain in my ass?
I wonder, I mean, it depends what time of the day you catch them. If they've already had a feed, then they're just having a look-see, being like, oh yeah, I wonder if you'll be here tomorrow. I wonder if they're like wired the whole time to just like a Labrador just to fucking consume.
Nah, they're
Very selective, eh?
Yeah, because I've had mates that have been spearfishing and have had orca bring them half-chewed fucking stingrays as like a gift. Like offer it up as a gift. Like bring it in like a buh. And then just kind of fucking hover there.
Or maybe they're waiting for you to throw it back to them.
Yeah, they fucking... Yeah, they probably,
wow.
Yeah. And they're impressive. Fuck, they're impressive animals. I didn't know. So this is it's quick little segue into that. So you know how they have the plight where they're fucking smacking the great white sharks?
Yeah.
The great white sharks liver. So I was thinking that their liver is kind of like ours, that it just sort of sits there along the bottom of part of their organs. So a great white's liver goes the whole way around all of its organs, and that's basically what regulates its temperature and then and its ability to consume food. Like the temperature in it, or however it fluctuates, it means that it will consume calories faster or slower. So they can go for these long periods where they just drop down their enzymatic levels within their livers, and that will slow down their consumption rate, conserving energy for long trips. And so they're fucking massive. So that's why they love to fucking eat them.
Was
They're
like
huge.
in my head thing, it was like a fat kid chucking their hand into a lolly jar and plucking out with ease the lolly they wanted.
No,
Just
it's like if you imagine from the dorsal fin back to the secondary fin before the pectoral fin,
it's big.
and then the tail fin. So it's like that width, and it basically goes from the spine all the way around and back up the other side like fucking a barrel wrap.
Wow.
So they're fucking trick, and they're delicious apparently, according to orcas.
Was it Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon where there was the armoured up rhino that they rode? I was like, fuck, that's the only way that riding a rhino could be cooler, if you were armoured up medieval styles and so was the rhino.
They don't
All
fucking
you
slow
need to do
down
is
for
have
much.
like a rhinos don't eat meat, do you? So you just have a bale of hay on the end of a fishing rod in front of you to point it where you want to go.
I just think you get them fucked off and just point them in a direction where they can take their aggression out.
Just slap the sides of their feet. Yeah. There's no one else like me. John Smith just had my third poo of the day.
Regular movement set up, three a day.
Depends if it's spaced out by 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
Probably, everyone's got their own
A lot of
regular.
snipping.
Matt Smith, I was going to say my ex, but I'm pretty sure a few other people on here would have. That's, of course, when the question was worded, who else has done something unique? Paul West farted in the tub and liked the smell that came out.
Oh, that's fucking you're not well.
That's like a real concentrated.
You can light those bubbles on fire. So if you ever find yourself sitting in a bath and you have a lighter, say you got a fucking candle set up.
Wait, what's fucking wrong with you, mate?
No, just do it. It's fucking pretty
That's
classic.
the original bath bomb.
Yeah. So if you fart and then you feel it basically roll up underneath your nuts, split either side, and you see it come up, you hold a lighter above it or a match, like a long stick match would be probably better, and watch that fucking little methane bubble pop and go, and flame goes up.
There'll be like chicks listening to this that have made their husbands made them listen to an episode, and they'll be like, I fucking never want to hang out with dudes by themselves for more than 20 minutes. This has probably been the longest 20 minutes of their life. This is why we have 95% dudes that listen.
If though, fun fact, if a girl does the same thing, it literally runs like a bubble credit card right up the middle of her lips.
Do you know, it's at this exact
A fart
moment
credit card.
that I realise just what I've got myself into with this. I'm fucking so happy to be here. A bubble credit card.
You've
There's
peaked.
a swipe.
Well, where do you go from there? I'll tell you. Andrew Robinson had a wank 300 metres underwater. And you go, where do you go from there? I'll tell you. This is the one that was not for radio. This is from Danny Thompson. I've been wanked off by Katie Price's dad twice.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Does he fucking dish out hand shandies? Holy fuck. Do we need to put an allegedly after that?
Allegedly.
Okay.
Well, that's on Danny Thompson. We've used his first name. There's probably a couple of Danny Thompsons in the UK. Good luck finding them.
Katie Price.
Anyone to see if he's got it in him. Oh man, she's copped it like almost no one else in the UK media. Poor old Katie Price, eh? Fucking Jay, not doing his part for the Price family, eh?
He does look like he could. Well, you know, everybody looks like they could.
You get put in any sort of position. How fast do you reckon you could do it if someone said, I'm going to murder your whole family?
Well, we've had this conversation before.
No, we haven't.
About, have you read Russel Brand's my book and my bookie book 1 and my bookie book 2?
Nah.
So he was
It's not really great. It doesn't grab you with the title.
Oh mate, he is such
Is
a
it hard? Because he's like incredible with the English language. Is it a hard read?
no. So
He's
was
almost too good with it.
well. That's so he talks about it kind of openly. He has an addictive personality, so he has an addiction for everything. So his latest addiction is for religion and language, which is why he now speaks with such a massive breadth of words. So that's part of his addiction. That's basically giving him a fucking
Instead
hit.
of sticking shit up his nose.
Yeah, and so, or fucking jabbing his arms or whatever he was doing when we were working together. So when he wrote this book, he's open and honest, and it's fucking hilarious. So he had a bet one night when he was just smacked on all sorts and out hammered that this transgender sex worker couldn't jerk him off better than he could jerk himself off. And so, yeah.
Interesting hypothesis.
Yeah. And so he's like, oh, you're right. And he goes, I'm that good that I reckon that I could jerk you off better than you could jerk yourself off. And so this transgender sex worker goes, fucking all right, then I'm up for a challenge. It was like $100 bet, £100 bet or something. I may be getting some of the facts of the story wrong. But anyway, they go into this bar, where they're at this bar, goes into the bar, into the cubicle stall, and he parks up behind this fella. And so he's talking through the method in his head. And so he's like, there's no feedback loop in. Because normally if you're fucking ripping it off its hinges, you go, oh yeah, it's a fucking, that feels a little bit, oh yeah, we're dropping a little switch toppy here, maybe fucking tug on the ball bag skin, whatever you're doing. So he's like, there's no feedback loop, so you don't know if you're heading in the right direction or not. And so he's envisaging what should be working, and the bouncer comes in. And so he's basically set himself a fucking speed record, like under a minute 30 to get this person to pop, sorry. And so the bouncer's fucking belting on the door, and he's just trying to stay in the moment. And the sex worker's going, we should probably wrap this up. And he's like fuck, I'm going to fucking win that £100 just chipping away on this bloke. That's how he operated.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
And he was so, like, when we were with him over in the UK, and so Amber, my co-host, was interviewing him. And you could just, like, he was such a fascinating character at this stage in his life. You could see how his brain was working. So it started as an interview, and it was all serious, and it was about the MTV VMAs over in, not the VMAs, the ones that happened in the UK, EMAs, sorry. And he was, talking about it in the acts and everything that was coming up, and this is awesome, and it's great to have you guys from here. And then it was sort of like, then when he's mentioned that, it's great to have, the team from New Zealand here, and then it kind of clicked. It's like, like, hey, you're from New Zealand, and I don't actually think that I've ever fucked anyone from New Zealand. So then she became a flag, and that he had not collected. And so you could see, literally during the interview, you just watched the whole demeanour turn on him. And he's like, matter of fact, and then he's got a wry smile, and you've got to keep smiling, fucking shipping these things. And then it just, because Amber was like kind of playing up to it, because that's how you get the best out of the talent. And it just got to the point where he was like, I just need to ask, shall we have sex? Shall we have sex?
Oh my God.
And I was in the background going, yes, fucking bum. And she's married to my mate at this stage.
You see Jay slowly backing out, like becoming the third wheel, just creeping out of the interview on his office chair.
He was, I still find him to be a fucking fascinating human.
Didn't he cop it, wasn't he in the news for some real bad shit recently?
Oh, I think, there is no two ways about it that he has done stuff that somebody would look back on and go, that was questionable, and I'm not entirely sure if I was into that. Because he would have been in fucking smack dens and doing shit, and there would have been people that were wanting him to pay for stuff and offering things in return that now they look back on and go, I was exploited, or that shouldn't have happened, or like, he is a fucking pest. There is no two ways about it. But there is almost, and this isn't a justification of it, but you wouldn't hop into a fucking tiger enclosure and not expect to be fucked with. You know, like, there were people that put themselves in a room with a drug addict and a sex addict and wondered why they did drugs and had sex.
How many times a day you reckon a sex addict bangs?
Oh, he was fucking like 20 times a day.
How do you find the time?
I don't even know how he's got anything left. It would be fucking rubbed out. It would have looked like one of those overcooked fucking savloys that was left in a pot too long. Yeah, fascinating guy.
Jay and Dunc, not for radio. It's Max Chickens, bro.
We mentioned this yesterday on the show, and it was like we might start playing a few of the classic Kiwi TV ads from back in the day, and this one here, and although we realise this is only audio, we'll put the video on the YouTube of the whole episode, but essentially it's a whole bunch of different things going wrong in a farmer's life, or in a bunch of different farmers' lives, in fact. And there's a single word that gets said a lot, and this got upheld. I think it got upheld at the broadcasting standards after a shit ton of complaints. But turns out we say lots worse things 20 years later.
Yeah, so I still can't even understand why they fucking, like, who cares? Bugger.
Because it's playing at 6 o'clock at night.
Yeah, and kids would say it. And so the reason why they didn't want it is because bugger is a shortened version of buggery, which is having anal sex.
And here's the ad. Tree stump out.
Bugger.
Into the back of the
Bugger me.
That was ripping the tree stump out and putting it through the chook house.
Yes.
This is ripping a cow's head off.
Ooh, bugger. You bird.
Gets the dog to jump in the back. Misses it. Dog lands in the mud.
Bugger.
Dog says bugger.
One of the good bits, if you go back and watch that ad as well, because he just realised he'd forgot the dog, is when the wheel flicks mud up and it goes on, the wife's hanging out some whitewashing.
Yes.
And I think it goes maybe on her face, and she pulls it away, and then it shows it, and it's written bugger in the mud.
Yes.
I was like, that's quite a nice touch.
Yeah, well played.
If 12 times in the ad wasn't enough saying it, get it written too. Double down.
There's a you remember there's famously an ad where they've got the red, it might have been Crumpy's red Toyota, and they fucking drive it off into like a crater. Mm-hmm. That farm is next to Lake Tarawera, and a friend of mine who we've spoken about him before, he goes in there quite a lot. There's a big deer hunting block on that farm, and he saw it, and that fucking crater is fucking huge. Literally looks like I would say easily 150 metre high crater wall, and it'd be probably fucking half a K to 3 Ks wide. I'll be able to find it on Google Maps. It's that fucking massive.
How did they scout those things out back in the day pre-Google Maps, eh?
Yeah. Because the guy had the farm, and I don't know, he's always driven Toyotas. It's not far off the main road on the way into Rotorua.
Oh, funny. The one that I'm going to play for you is like an Aussie version. It's not the Hilux. They got a Tacoma. It's like a bigger version of the Hilux.
Very cool. I'm a big fan of the Tacoma.
This one kind of looks like a 97 F-150. It's got the same sort of front with bulgy guards and a skinnier bonnet. And the premise of this one is at the end, and you're going to hear it, the chick fucking drives his Tacoma off a massive cliff onto a beach.
Oh, hey, Mike, I know you think your truck is totally sick, but this is what I think of your precious 4x4 hang out all day with your stupid friend's truck! Push it!
What had happened?
Atomic Tom, remind me what happened. I'll just bring it up here. I forgot what happened at the end there. I thought that was the end of it. What's she screaming for?
Because
it still looks brand new at the bottom. I didn't pick up on that. I was
Well
about to say
played.
it came out relatively unscathed, as many of them did in those crazy Toyota ads we had, eh?
Yeah. Though, they're an amazing bit of kit. Jesus, they love them.
There was a great bit, one of the great comedians here in New Zealand and media personalities, that guy, or Lee Hart, he had a Hyundai Santa Fe on a TV show called Sports Cafe.
The Hyundai Terracan.
Was it the Terracan?
Yeah, it's a big boy.
Yeah, and then so he pitched the idea of them giving him one to make content with, and basically over the 15 episodes of the season of Sports Cafe or whatever, he slowly fucked the thing up more and more, and it got so outrageous. There was one time when I think the roof had been ripped off after they've rolled it, and then he just filled the fucking thing up with a front end logo full of manure. No reason. And then when they were putting the manure, and then they just tapped the bucket down on the back real hard and just squashed it to the bottom of its springs.
Yes. This is the Hyundai Terracan, as you can see. Great out on the farm, great in the paddock, and really takes care of those pesky whiteware that you often see floating around in the paddock. And he was just fucking punting dishwashers and fridges with it in a paddock.
Oh,
Mate, we should really get him on to talk, or him or Macca on to talk about some of the shit that they did back in the, because he'd be out, obviously there's a statute of limitations, it's possibly he can get away with it. He's like, nobody said no back then. Nobody said no. And they would.
I was listening to the Between Two Beers podcast with him, and he was talking about, I think it was someone's podcast with him, and he was talking about the fact that Sports Cafe, predominantly rugby, but other sports as well, would fucking always make him go down to the press conferences in Hamilton.
Yeah.
And he was always so fucking hungover and couldn't be bothered. He's like, oh my gosh, how many more of these have I got to do? So that's when he came up with Food in a Minute. And so it was his idea of a cooking show, and he went around to Alison Holtz, who's a famous Kiwi chef, went around to her house. And they did the most fucking hectic, just completely ruined her kitchen.
No, that's his house.
Speed cooking.
That speed cooking was in his house. The one with the microwave and the fucking chook that goes into it and he fucking rattles it all around.
Wow, the way he told it sounded like they both. So someone else came home.
It was his missus that came home and was
was
like,
it?
what the fuck? Because she's a TV producer. And she came home and was like, what the fuck? And he goes, well, I don't need to be doing any more of those press conferences. I've got a new bit. Because I went to his house. We used to have a thing at this radio station. It was called No Sleep Till Breakfast, which was just a station-wide 24-hour bender. And so we'd end up at his place at sort of 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and have the last push through before everyone would go back to the station and breakfast would start. And I walked in, and it was like fucking deja vu, because it was that kitchen and that microwave and that everything.
So okay.
Yeah.
And then so the place was ruined, right? He was just pouring fucking 12 kgs of flour into the blender. It was flying everywhere. He got a fucking chainsaw at one point, leaf blower, just breaking all of his plates and shit. And he ended up being one of the biggest segments.
We'll find that and put it in, and you no words can express how fucking hectic it is. And it's all in one shot.
Yes,
There's no. I don't know how.
God.
I don't know how he would be able to even, in his mind, go, okay, cool, and this is the next step. It looks so choreographed, but it's one take and one take only, because shit got fucked up.
You're not doing shit twice.
Yeah, and it would have cost so much to clean his house. And yeah, his missus came home and was like, what the fuck?
Ex-missus.
Yeah. Because we would turn up. He had this little bar that he'd built off the side of his house. And so that was, he could just basically just go in there and just fucking steam in. And so then there was never a plan of going back to his house. He's got 2 kids and his missus. And so at fucking 3 o'clock in the morning or whatever, when we've been booted out of everywhere else, he's like, right, yeah, back to my place. I'm like, do you need to check with the missus? He goes, it's my house. I was like, understandable, but 2 teenage kids and missus, and he goes, "Oh, the missus loves a party. Why would you not like this party?" It's like, well, it's fucking, I think it's like Wednesday, and it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and you've literally got 20 cunts coming back with you. He goes, "Oh, you're right. You're right. I don't know if we're going to have enough piss. Right here, you guys can't come." Why not? The missus said so. You haven't even talked to her. Fuck, it was so good.
Just absolute chaos.
Yeah. Pandemonium.
Right, we better pull finger and wrap this thing up. Cheers for listening once again. No updates for those listening on Spotify that are Apple Sniper Elite. Still waiting on that one, which is a giant pain in the ass, but can't really do much about it. Once again, as well, if you're listening to this, we're on YouTube. If you're watching this, hey, fucking go you. Hi. And also, Not For Radio sunglasses.
Yes, they're being sent
available.
out, I think, this week, early next.
What, to the people that have pre-ordered?
Yep.
Oh,
To the
sick.
pre-orders that have already gone, and we shall be getting ours tomorrow, or maybe even today.
Yeah, outstanding. Well, there's a link in the show notes. Buy those. They're $199 Kiwi with shipping worldwide. We've gone high end instead of, I don't know, making you pay for a $60 pair of sunglasses. It's worth $20 that lasted fucking 3 months. These things are just mint design, ground up.
Yeah.
I say we did. Jay did all the heavy lifting on this one, then put my name on it. It was quite nice.
I don't know. Trent from Newfound did it, which is great. He's a fucking lad. And they are beautiful. It's a beautiful kit. Like, these are the sort of things that you can fucking pass on to your kids. Make them an heirloom. There you go. That's how you sell it as an investment.
Hey, have a ripping rest of your Thursday, and we'll join you tomorrow for another Not For Radio. Go well, go long, go deep.